Hello everyone, Controlled Chaos speaking. Here we are, another review for the Genesys format, whether or not structured decks are Genesys ready. This time though, I don't have a lot of time, so I figured let's make it a challenge. I'm going to try and do this within 30 minutes. So ready, and go. Starting with Dragunity Arma Levitin. Let's see. So you can from the hand by removing from play a monster you control. It's equipped. Normal special summon, you can select a dragon type monster. See, when summoned, you can select dragon type monster from the graveyard. Equip it to this card. Send to the graveyard by opponent's card effect. You select a monster that was equipped to this card when it was sent to the graveyard and special summon it from that graveyard. Let's see. Okay. So, this is meant to be the boss monster. It has effects that utilize the main point of the Dragunity, which is that they equip themselves to the other monsters. This one having a lot of ways to utilize this, as well as bringing back monsters that were equipped to it. So yes, this is very much the boss monster. Let's see here. Okay. Let's see. Dragunity Arma Mistalin. See, this card can be special summoned from the hand by sending a Dragunity monster you control to the grave. When summoned from the hand, you can select a Dragon type Dragunity in the grave and equip it to this card. A simple effect, can be very powerful because that is the main gimmick of the deck, so it's likely to have a lot of combos. So this card would be a must-have for the deck. Let me see here. Dragunity Aclis. Okay, this I believe the majority of the monsters that you would want to equip to a monster would be the tuner monsters. Let me double check this. When this card is normal summon, you can special summon a Dragunity monster from the hand, equip it with this card. When this card set to the graveyard while equipped to a monster, select a card on the field and destroy it. Yes, this is one of the basic. So usually it's the winged beast monsters that get equipped with the dragon monsters, and the dragon type monsters that seem to be generally tuners are the ones that become weapons and can be equipped. And this one has an effect that it automatically special summons a Dragunity from the hand, then equips itself to it. And there are also methods of when it's destroyed, an effect goes off. So yeah, this one is also a powerful card to have for the deck. See, Dragunity do. Let's see, here's one of the winged beast monsters that just have effects that help when it is equipped with something. Gains 200 attack for each Dragunity card. Let's see, when this card is normal summoned, you can target a level 3 or lower Dragunity monster in the grave, equip that target to this card. So yes, another card. Some of the Dragunity, I recall, also have effects that special summon themselves from equipped. I'm not sure. We'll know in a few minutes. But that's simply a pretty good card to initiate any combos you may have. I think a good starter. Let's see, Dragunity Legionnaire. Let's see, when normal summoned, you can target a level 3 lower dragon, Dragunity in the grave. Equip that target to this card. You can send a Dragunity card from the spell and trap zone to the grave, then target a monster your opponent controls, destroy that target. This is definitely a step up from Dragunity do, but they both have merits because the Dragunity monsters are a synchro archetype, So it would be important to have all kinds of levels. So, uh, and plus, Legionnaire doesn't have any stat boosting effects. So, yes. So this one is definitely another good starter. Let's see. Dragunity Tribus. When this card is normal special summon, you can send a level 3 or lower dragon monster from the deck to the graveyard. A good starter because you would want to have uh, those Dragunity equipable monsters in the graveyard. Let's see. See, Dragunity Dark Spear. See, once per turn, you contribute a Dragunity, then target a level 4 or lower winged beast monster in the graveyard, special summon that target. This one is a little awkward to use, because generally, when you summon a dragon type Dragunity, I would think it would special summon another Dragunity to equip itself to, so you generally wouldn't have that many dragon type Dragunity monsters. Or you wouldn't want to outright, let's see, and you wouldn't want to outright tribute it, but I imagine that you would actually have Dragon's Dark Spear tribute itself, perhaps. I'm not sure if that would work. Possibly it might, since the effect activates on the field. It it would require play testing. All right, Dragunity Melidum. See, once per turn, you can target a Dragunity card in the spell and trap zone. She'll summon it. Ah, yes. This is one that utilizes the special summoning from Equipped, and then you can probably use this as a combo to create a Synchro monster. So, yes, a Synchro starter. Let me see. Melidum. Let's see. Dragunity Primus Pilus. Let's see. And it's a level 5 monster. So this one has a bit more on its back. When this card is normal special summon, you can target a winged beast Dragunity you control. Excuse me. Equip it with a level 3 or lower Dragunity from the deck. Let's see here. So yeah. Bit difficult to summon out. However, its effect goes off when normal or special summon, so it can be forgiven for that. And it possibly can give you, if you're able to combo well, this could possibly give you a level 8 Synchro monster. Let me see. Dragunity Brandystock. See. While equipped to a monster, that monster can make a second attack during each battle phase. Not that powerful, but it could have end game potential. Alright, so far no points attributed. Let's keep going. Dragunity Javelin. Let's see. If destroyed while in a monster zone, you can equip it to a winged beast Dragunity you control instead of sending to the graveyard. It's a little awkward as it doesn't really have any effects that help while it's in the equip zone. All it does is equip itself when it's destroyed. So yeah, you generally don't want to put the ball in your opponent's court, but it could have combo potential. Okay. Okay, that's all the Dragunity cards. Okay, there's 2 else. Okay, Mist Valley Falcon. So we'll probably see a combination of level 3 dragon no, probably not dragon monsters. We'll just probably see a bunch of winged beast or wind support. Let's see. Mist Valley Falcon cannot declare attack unless you return a card you control to the hand. Something in the vein of Panther Warrior, but in the advent of synchro monsters, this becomes a weak point of contention. But at this point, they're still close to figuring everything out. Let's see. Okay. Hunter Owl. Gains 5 attack for each face-up wind monster you control. While you can control another face-up wind monster, your opponent cannot select this card as an attack target. Very let's see. Kind of lends to the theme of Dragunity, but it's not all that powerful. It would require some setup, and it's easily destroyed. While I wait for that to load, we'll go ahead and review Garuda the Wind Spirit. Garuda the Wind Spirit. Let's see. This is one of the cards that can only be special summoned by removing from play an appropriate attribute monster. In this case, Wind. And unique effect, during your opponent's end phase, you can select a face-up monster your opponent controls and change its battle position. Good for special summoning out. Its other effect is lackluster, but that wouldn't necessarily be the point of the card. Let's see here. Okay. Flying Kamakiri number 1. The floater for wind attribute monsters, it's in here because wind attribute deck, but it does have potential possibly, but again, it's a recruiter. I don't see this having too much impact because it puts the ball, once again, it puts the ball in your opponent's court. Okay, Spear Dragon. This card, let's see here. So yes, deals piercing damage, but it's changed to defense position. It was made back when they thought a monster with such powerful effects needs to change defense position after attacking. But Spear Dragon's piercing effect doesn't really have that much power. It's just here as a wind dragon, but not necessarily a powerful point. You could probably put this on the chopping block. The infamous twin-headed behemoth. We all should know its effect by now. Once per duel, when it's destroyed and sent to the grave, special summon it with its attack and defense set to 1,000. Not much else to say on it. It's pretty good. decent, I suppose. Let me see. Let's see. Armed Dragon level 3 and Armed Dragon level 5. 3 becomes 5 during the standby phase. There's only one copy of each, so it's not really a strong addition to the deck. Let's see. It's not necessarily a strong addition to the deck, but Armed Dragon level 5's effect might give it a leg up. But yeah. But there's only one copy of each. Level monsters you would want to have, at least with this, you would probably want 3 level 3s. So it's not a strong addition to the deck. Mm-hmm. And to round out the monsters, Masked Dragon, another floater, but this time with dragon types. Let's see here. So yes, again, what I've said about Flying Kamakiri, it applies to Masked Dragon. Let's see. Alright, halfway through, still no points allotted. We see that it's now that the balance for monsters is very good. Alright, next. The main field spell for the deck, Dragon's Ravine. Let's see. Once per turn, by discarding a card, you can either add a level 4 or lower Dragunity from the deck to the hand, or send a Dragon-type monster from the deck to the graveyard. And this became a problem card, especially with Dragon-type decks. They would just discard a card, send a Dragon, like Blue Eyes, to the graveyard, and from there, they can actually bring it out much more easily. So I'm guessing this might have some points assigned to it. While I wait for that to load, let's go into Dragon Mastery. See, this is a Dragunity spell. Each monster you control that is equipped with a Dragunity monster gains 500 attack. Very powerful. Once per turn, you can select the monster you control and equip it with a Dragon-type Dragunity monster in the hand. So yeah. I see no downside to having this in the deck, but I want to say this could be a win more card, possibly. Yes, I see this as a win more card. Alright, that's surprising. Okay. Let's see. United We Stand and Mage Power, both because you would possibly have a bunch of monsters on the field as well as a bunch of spells on the field. Either that or they lend themselves to the theme of the deck. United We Stand, increase the attack by 800 for each face-up monster you control. Mage Power the same, except it's 500 for each spell or trap you control. But both of these are a little bit. They both require setup to get the most bang for your buck out of them. Okay, Dragon's Gunfire. Let's see. If you control a dragon, either inflict 800 damage or one monster loses 8 with 800 less defense is destroyed. Um, this would essentially be a burn card unless you have a monster with low defense on your opponent's side of the field. I would prefer Stomping Destruction over this. Oh, speaking of which, there it is. Stamping Destruction. If you control a dragon, destroy a spell or trap on the field, and if you do, inflict 500 damage to its controller. Very good. It's a spell speed 1, but it does a lot, so it has some points to it. Let's see. Creature swap. I'm not sure why this is in the deck. Possibly because there's a bunch of weak monsters. You can switch it out. You can switch out a monster you control for one of their monsters. Yeah. So it might have some combo to it, but I'm not sure. Okay, monster reincarnation. This would actually, like, monster reincarnation has notoriously been difficult to add to a deck as it would require a certain strategy. This, I think, would make itself right at home. You can trade out an equipable Dragunity for a winged beast Dragunity, and that would allow you to set up a combo. So yeah. And with creature swap, we have our first point. Foolish Burial simply sends a monster from your deck to the grave. The Dragunities would be able to make full use of this card. Okay. Final quarter, let's see, penultimate review. So far we've got 34 points. I don't see it getting that much higher, but we'll see. And everything supports quite nicely. There's just a few win more cards in here, a few clunky replacements to make, but all in all, it kind of has a cohesive theme to it now. All right, card destruction. Discard your entire hand. Both you and your opponent discard your entire hand, then draw the same number of cards that was sent to the graveyard. And Dragunities can make use of this, and it would mess up your opponent's strategy, likely. Alright. Windstorm of Itakua. Change the battle positions of all face-up monsters your opponent controls. There are better options for keeping your opponent's monsters on the field while stopping their attack, such as Wabaku, but let's see, if you don't want them attacking at all, Windstorm would stop it, but yeah, Wabaku would probably be a better option, and there's a few others I can't think of up the top of my head that I'm sure exist. All right, we're getting close. Okay. Relieve monster. When an opponent's monster declares an attack, target monster you control, return that target to the hand, and special summon a level 4 monster from the hand. Let's see. I'm pretty sure what happens here is this causes replay. I don't see that many strategies utilizing relieve monster, and setting a trap just to switch out your monster might not be the best thing to do. I don't know. See. Legacy of Yatagarasu. See. Draw a card, or if your opponent controls a face-up spirit monster, draw 2 cards. This is more likely a Jar of Greed. You can have this in the deck just in case. It has that 1-up over Jar of Greed. Could be useful if spirits become a thing again. But, then again, a trap card that lets you draw cards. Well, unless you draw into a hand trap, this could be useful. Okay, final attack orders. Yes, this one forces monsters into attack position, and their battle positions cannot be changed. This kind of clashes with Windstorm of Itakuwa. And I don't see that many situations where this would actually be a beneficial thing. Maybe against, possibly against cards like the Ghost Tricks, but I'm not sure. Coming down to the wire. Mirror Force. Everyone knows this card. When a monster declares an attack, destroy all attack position monsters your opponent controls. Let's see. Dragon's Rage. If your dragon attacks a defense position monster, inflict piercing. This gives piercing to all of your dragon type monsters, but this is a very weak payoff, I think. Where are you? Okay. Another infamous card. Bottomless Trap Pull. If a monster with 1500 or more attack is summoned, it is destroyed and it's banished. Let's see. And I'll do these last two because they're basically here because Wind and Winged Beast respectively. Spiritual Wind Dart Miyabi. Tribute a wind, a tribute monster, target a card your opponent controls, and place it on the bottom of the deck. Very powerful single target effect. Icarus Attack does essentially the same thing, except you tribute a Winged Beast to activate it, and you target 2 cards in the field and destroy them. Spiritual Wind Dart bypasses destruction and places it back into the deck, which becomes a bit more difficult to deal with, I've come to find out. Icarus Attack, though, you get a more widespread effect. But between the two, I would probably replace Icarus Attack with Spiritual Wind Dart. Alright, let's put these last two in. But yeah, time, I believe. And that means we managed to do it, I think, in 30 minutes. Let's see here. B. So, final notes. Is this Genesys ready? Yes, it is, and it has a strong showing. In fact, it might be a good contender if you add some synchro monsters and maybe replace a few cards. And it still maintains under the point value. It has some room for some strong additions or maybe even some hand traps. So yes, this might be the format we do from now on, the 30-minute review. Thank you for watching. Be sure to tune in next week. We'll be reviewing the Lost Sanctuary structure deck with the Agent monsters. But until then, if you enjoyed what you've seen here, make sure that you hit the subscribe button and make sure the bell's ringing. That will keep you up to date on my uploads. Also, be sure to check out my Sure page. I'll be putting polls and events there. I also stream on Twitch every Saturday morning, and during the spring and fall, I also stream Monday and Wednesday evenings. And with all that said, thank you for watching. This is Controlled Chaos, signing out.